to the 2.07 quiz for U.S. History Part B. To access your 2.07 quiz, look to the left of your course into the blue navigation bar. Click on the Unit 2 tab and scroll down to Lesson 2.07. You will see the 2.07 quiz right beneath that lesson. Click on Begin 2.07 quiz. It will give you some reminders such as how to take the exam, to save your answers as you go, and once you have completed the quiz, click Submit for grading. You will see these buttons at the top and at the bottom of your quiz. Quiz 2.07 has a total of 13 questions worth 1 point each. During this video, I'll be reading the questions and the answer options to you. Let's get started. Number 1, which was an argument in favor of U.S. imperialism? Imperialism promoted the Monroe Doctrine. Imperialism would establish manifest destiny. Imperialism would make the United States economically competitive with other nations. Or imperialism would assist former allies in securing new markets in Africa. Number 2, what was one argument made against U.S. imperialism? This one is against. The previous question was for. It would pit the United States against Great Britain. It ignored social Darwinism. It violated America's anti-colonial principles. Or it created competition with Mexico and Canada. Number 3, what was one cause of the Spanish-American War? The belief that a Spanish mine had blown up the battleship Maine, President McKinley's enthusiasm for going to war, Theodore Roosevelt's interest in increasing the size of the Navy, or Cuban intervention in U.S. affairs. Number 4, what was the outcome of the Spanish-American War? A quick Spanish victory, a quick U.S. victory, a drawn-out war resulting in Cuban independence, or an uneasy truce that gave way to Spain resuming control of Cuba. Number 5, how did many Americans respond to the declaration of war with Spain? Tens of thousands demonstrated against it. Most believed the army was not prepared to fight well. They feared a Spanish conquest of Florida, or many men volunteered for military service. Number 6, which remained independent of the United States? Puerto Rico, Hawaii, the Philippines, or Mexico? Number 7, how did the United States acquire Puerto Rico? Annexation with military involvement, treaty, purchase, or invasion? What was the purpose of the open door policy? To provide the United States with access to trade with China, to provide China with access to trade with the United States, to make sure that all world ports would be open to the United States, or the last option, to make sure that the United States would be open to all world nations. Number 9, Theodore Roosevelt's philosophy of foreign policy was summed up by his admonition to speak softly and carry a big stick. Which would Roosevelt oppose? Building the Panama Canal, intervening in the blockade of Venezuela, sending Marines into Cuba, or reducing the size of American military forces? Number 10, which best describes William Howard Taft's dollar diplomacy? Buying the favor of other nations through foreign aid, hiring the best available diplomats regardless of salaries, exerting American foreign policy influence through business, or accepting money from other nations in exchange for favors. What were Woodrow Wilson's goals for U.S. diplomacy? To promote world peace through American influence, to acquire new territory peacefully, to gain land in Mexico to exceed Polk's vision of American territorial growth, or to build the military, especially the Navy. Number 12, which president most likely said these words in one of his speeches? The American people must either build and maintain an adequate navy or else make up their minds definitely uh, definitely to accept a secondary position in international affairs. Was that William McKinley, Woodrow Wilson, Theodore Roosevelt, or William Howard Taft? Number 13, what message was Woodrow Wilson trying to send from this excerpt? Come, let us be comrades and soldiers, yet to serve our fellow men in quiet counsel, where the blare of trumpets is neither heard nor heeded, and where the things are done which make blessed the nations of the world in peace and righteousness and love. Was he saying nations should listen to one another and get along? Soldiers should pay attention to each other and the sounds of war? Political parties should work peacefully together for the good of the country? Or nations that are allied in love will win in war? That is your final question for quiz 2.07. If you have any questions, please let me know.